Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Lion Fight Middleweight Cosmo Alexandre. Cosmo, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you, and you?
Cosmo, you got a fight coming up at Lion Fight 15 on May 23rd. How's training been going for the fight?
Man, I'm training a little bit different this time. I'm training more boxing now because I know the commission, they will score more for boxing than the real Muay Thai. So I'm training more boxing with Pedro Diaz now.
Mm-hmm. You actually, in 2010, had 2 boxing matches, but since 2010, you haven't fought in boxing. Are you still open to making a run in that sport?
Yes, for sure. I fought in Brazil twice, but amateur. And now, I can't wait to fight boxing. Professional here. I'm training with Pedro, so, I'm just waiting for him, let me go.
Mm. Is that possibly another reason why you're training so much boxing?
Yeah. First because, of course, I want to fight boxing. Mm-hmm. And second because I'm a little bit tired to train Muay Thai. Long time doing that, and the same thing, always the same thing every day. I went to Thailand, and after that, I still train Thai style. So I get a little bit boring, you know. Mm-hmm. So when I train boxing, I feel good because everything is new, and that's why I'm training more boxing now.
Mm-hmm. And when was the last time you were down with Black Zillions training?
The last time I trained with them?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think before my last fight on Legacy, was my last training.
Oh. And is that the plan going forward? When you have a stand-up fight, you'll be working somewhere else, and if you fight MMA, you'll be down there?
Yes, for sure. When I have Muay Thai fight or boxing fight, I'll train all over the place. But when I have a MMA fight, I will come back to train there.
Mm. Okay. And who's going to be in your corner for May 23rd?
Chief Rommel. He was my student, but today he's not my student anymore. He went to Thailand, and he's trained many other guys in his school in Naples, Florida. So he'll be in my corner.
Uh-huh. Where do you live right now?
I live in Delray Beach, really close from the gym, the Black Zillions gym. So I live 3 minutes from the gym.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was looking at your area code, and I noticed that you have an East Coast area code. When you left Brazil and came to the United States, did you live on the East Coast, or have you always been in Florida?
No. My first place was in Oregon.
Oh, really?
Yes, really far away. So I trained a little bit there, and then I went to New Jersey, trained with Jorge Patino.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And after that, I went to Massachusetts because I have a friend there. He was my student in Brazil, and he called me to go there and train and see if I want to stay there. So I was there a little bit with him and with Gonzaga from UFC.
Right.
And I told him, I was oh man, I need to train more, you know. I went to US to train and fight MMA. So after a while, I went to Florida because I have a friend, he's a Thai guy, and I met him in Thailand. And he was here, and I would fight against Petrosian. And he heard about that, and he called me. And oh man, you have to come here to train with me. Stay here 2 weeks. And then you go to your fight. Oh, that's fine because I need really training like that. And then when I went, he was working with the Black Zillions already. He was really beginner. And I met Glenn, the manager,
right.
And he told me oh man, you have to come back after your fight. If you want to fight MMA, it'll be a good place to stay, blah, blah, blah. And then I come back, and that's why I'm here now.
Oh, I see. Now, what were you doing originally in Oregon? Where were you working out when you were up there?
In Oregon?
Yeah. Where were you training at that time?
I was training with Rick Storr.
Okay. Rick Story?
I was training with him, yes. I was training with him, for a few weeks. And I didn't feel it was my place. And then I left. I went to New Jersey. And I always looking for a good train, you know. Mm-hmm. And I found here. Here was perfect for me because it's almost the same thing like in Brazil, you know, the weather, like the people. So a lot of Brazilians here. So one help each other. So that's why my choice was here.
I see. Now, you mentioned that you lived in Massachusetts at one point in time, and you lived in New Jersey, East Coast and, kind of New England states there. You're going to be fighting in Connecticut coming up on May 23rd, kind of like a mini homecoming. You're not exactly from Connecticut, but those New England states kind of all come together. Are you looking forward to going back to that part of the country?
Yeah, I have good friends there, man. I still have good friends there, and they call me like every week and saying like they are going to my fight, and so that'll be good. But my place here in the West is here, man. But like now, I don't know tomorrow, but now like I love to live here in Florida.
Now you're going to be taking on Mark Holst. What are your thoughts about him as an opponent?
I just saw one fight of him against Kevin Ross.
Yep.
So like it's not really Muay Thai. He's like different style, you know. So I have to be careful. And I know he likes to use his hands, and that's it. I'm doing my own, you know. Like I do what I have to do in the fight, and I'm training more boxing now, and long time training Muay Thai. So I can like see what I can do in the fight. I can change my game, you know.
He's more of an MMA guy. I mean, obviously he has a background in striking, but he's more of an MMA guy who's now transitioning into Muay Thai, where you're a Muay Thai stylist who did the opposite, transition to MMA. Now you're back in your original sport. A lot of people feel that he's not on your level when it comes to the stand-up. Would you agree with that, or is it something where we'll find out on the 23rd?
No, man. Like, fight is fight, you know. We never know what can happen. Like, he's a good fighter, all respect, you know. And I just have to train hard, man. Like, we never know what can happen. And that's it. Like, I can't think like, oh, he's not good or he's not my level. That's like, you know, like I never think like that, you know.
Do you have a multiple fight deal with Lion Fight?
Sorry?
Do you have a multiple fight contract with Lion Fight?
Yes, I have 3 more fights with Legacy. I have just this fight now, and then like I have to wait and see when I'll fight that again. But I have another fight in France in June 27, and probably like in November I have another fight already. So, but before that, probably I'll fight a Legacy and another Muay Thai fight. So this year will be like a busy year, man.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. You love staying busy. 2012, you were very busy. 2014, you're getting off to a good start. 2013, what happened there? Only a couple fights in 2013. I think you only fought one time. What happened
I had some problem with the Bellator, and that's why I didn't fight. You know, like I'm always like wanting to fight. I always want to fight, but I had some problem with them, and I couldn't fight. But thank God, like I'm free now. I'm with Legacy. I'm happy with them, and they let me fight Muay Thai. They want I fight like in his show, and they show. So now it's good, man. Now everything's okay.
I'm just curious because when you were fighting for Bellator, I think you were 5-1 under their banner. You had 3 stoppages. You looked great. You were on a nice little win streak. What happened there? I mean, maybe you can say, maybe you can't say, but what happened there? Obviously, you have a decorated striking background, and you were on a nice win streak. You'd seem like the perfect guy to put in one of their tournaments. What happened with them? Why was there some sort of disagreement?
Yeah, there's like that. I can't say, man. I can't say anything about that. So, but like few things happen, you know, and like I couldn't fight, and I have to leave. Like I wanted to leave, you know. So it was like my choice, but yeah, I can't say like a lot about that.
Oh, okay. Then Legacy, they come into the picture. You fight Ray Trujillo, a beautiful first-round knockout for you. You first caught him with a knee, and then you finished with punches. How pleased were you with your performance in that fight? Because it had been a while since you fought in MMA.
I was training a lot of elbows and knees, And of course, I was so happy because I couldn't do that in my fight, because I see like these days MMA, everybody's get good and with hands, like
right.
everybody training boxing. But I know if you have like elbows and good knees, good kicks, you be one step forward. And that's what happened in the fight. Like Trujillo was a good fight too, like it's a hard fight. And I got him with a good elbow and then with knee and finished him with a punch. So I felt good, I felt like I was doing good. My trainer is doing good.
Now, when you go into a fight, do you ever have a set game plan? Because the Ray Trujillo fight was a short notice fight for him. Your original opponent, I don't know when exactly he backed out, but Trujillo took the fight on short notice. When you're going through a training camp, do you have a game plan? Do you prepare for the specific opponent you're going to fight, or do you just kind of focus on yourself and what you want to do? Do you go into the fights with game plans?
I don't change my game because we like I'll fight like in 3 weeks. And I start training one thing. And then after 2 weeks, I fight again. So I have to change my game again. And then I will never train what I like to do and what I do good, So I just see like 2 fights for the guy and see what he does good, what he does bad. And then I still doing my train. Like I just like see something if he's a striker or if he's like a wrestler. But I don't change a lot of my game. I have to do what I do, I can't change.
Mm-hmm. Now, I heard a rumor that you don't have a manager. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Why? Was it just it works better for you to negotiate on your own, or were you burned by a manager in the past? What happened?
That's much better for me now. That's much better for me now. Like, I don't need to wait for nobody, And about Muay Thai, I know everybody because I fought everybody already.
Right.
All the big names, I fought all the big shows. So why I would have like manager,
Right.
And MMA is the same thing. Like I have good contacts, I have good trainers, good friends, and I can do that by my own. Like I don't need a manager. I don't need to pay nobody to do that.
Mm-hmm. Typically, how does someone get in contact with you for a fight offer? Like when a promoter comes to you, they just email you and you email them back? Is that how that works?
Normally, like Muay Thai, how I told you, I have this fight now.
Right.
And I have June and probably August, November already I signed contract. So I have like 4 or 5 Muay Thai fights to do this year. Mm-hmm. And everything was by Facebook or by my mail.
Oh.
So, like the guys, the promoters like, just come and message me, and we start talking and see how it would work, and that's it. That's easy, man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What was 2013 like for you? Because you seem to be like a guy who, if you have fights lined up, your training is great. There's better energy. You're more focused. You seem like that kind of guy who needs to have something to prepare for. What was that like being on the sidelines for that year?
Well, in 2013?
Yeah, you only fought once.
Yes. That's the problem, What's the problem with the Bellator?
Right.
Until I fixed that situation, I couldn't fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just to wait and work because I couldn't fight. So I was like teaching a lot, like private class, doing many things, seminars in Brazil. Like I had to do like many things to make some money. And until fix that situation. Mm-hmm. But I was training, I was like ready for any fight, And then I fought my last fight on the Bellator, and that's it. Like, got free,
Mm-hmm. But is it accurate when I say that you do better, you train harder, you train smarter, you train better, you have more energy when you have a fight coming up? Like, it must have been tough not knowing when you're going to fight again in 2013 when you had that.
No, man. Like, I do the same thing. I train the same thing.
Okay.
I know it's a little bit different when, like, MMA fighters and Muay Thai fighters. Like, we always train. Mm-hmm. Like, doesn't matter if we have fight or no. We always are training, Like, if I have fight, I will train, and then close for the fight, I will train harder. If I don't have fight, I will keep doing the same train. I don't need to train really hard because my body will not like,
Right.
But I'm always training, like, even if I have fight or no.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned that Lion Fight, you don't have a multiple fight deal with them, you're just kind of doing one-offs here and there. I'm just curious why, because they seem to be treating you very good. You fought for them once before, you were the main event. Now, coming up on the 23rd, you're going to be the main event again. It seems like it's a good relationship. Why haven't we been able to lock down a exclusive deal? Is it something where you just don't want to be exclusive to one organization? You mentioned you have all these other fights. Is this something like that, or is there something on their end?
Yeah, with me it would be good, but I don't know, and we have a very good relationship, but I don't know how it would work for them, because now they are on TV, Access TV, and that's great for Muay Thai, great for the show, great for me, for the fighters, but that's hard. When you fight on TV, and for us, like Muay Thai fighters, we have to fight different.
Right.
We can't fight like Thai style.
Mm-hmm.
That's one problem. I don't know, maybe that is the problem about they make another contract with me for 2-3 fights. Because people on TV, they don't know about Muay Thai. They don't know how to score. They don't know a smart fight. They normally like to see crazy fight. They don't like to see a technical fight. They don't have patience to see what's going on. So maybe that's a problem. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. How many kickboxing matches have you had? Because I looked at your record on your Wikipedia page, and you have Muay Thai fights mixed in with kickboxing bouts. So how many Muay Thai fights have you had, and how many just regular kickboxing, no clinching and none of that stuff? What's the difference of, how many full contact Muay Thai fights have you had, and then the semi clinching but only to strike, and then the straight kickboxing? Give us the breakdown of what your record is, because they have you down 41 wins, 14 losses, but they have some kickboxing fights mixed in here, so give us the breakdown.
Yes, I don't know, man, how many kickboxing fights. I know I fought on each Showtime. I was
Yep.
the champion of each Showtime, 170 pounds.
Yep.
And I fought 4 times there. Probably. And what else? I fought Super League one time. My first fight, in Europe. So I don't know. Probably I fought 7-8 kickboxing fights, and then all the other fights were Muay Thai.
Oh, I see. Are you open to kickboxing again, or would you like to stay in the kind of boxing, Muay Thai, MMA kind of realm?
Man, no, I'm open. I like to fight another organization, another rules, Of course, I prefer fight Muay Thai, that's for sure. But I can fight kickboxing too, boxing, Muay Thai, I can fight.
Oh, I see. Now, I'm just curious, Cosmo, how did you get your nickname Good Boy?
I fought in Portugal in Super League. It was my first fight in Europe. And then in Brazil, I was hurting people already with my knee. And then in this fight in Portugal, I cut some guy, my opponent, in the head. And then they started saying we need to give you a nickname. And then they started with crazy names about knees, the bad knee,
right.
Blah blah blah. And one guy was there, and he said, "Man, your knee is like a gift, it's hard to find some fighter and use some the knee like that, and you will finish your fights with this. So why you guys want to put something some bad name? He's a good boy, blah blah." And then when he said good boy, the guys, "Oh yeah, he's a good boy." And then they start call me good boy because this is about this knee.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, you mentioned those knees, and those knees are very devastating. You've been able to finish guys in MMA and Muay Thai with those knees, but you've also, in your Muay Thai career, ended a lot of fights by low kicks. Is the knees, are they more devastating? Because these low kicks, I'm looking on your record, and you have a lot of finishes by that. What's more devastating, do you think?
For sure, the knee.
Mm-hmm.
The knee for sure, yeah. Because, I have a time to throw my knee really good. When the guy is punching, stepping, I'm throwing my knee. So it's harder to see, I like to see when I'm doing the knee. And the low kicks, some guys check, some guys doesn't check. So I think my low kick is not good. I don't like my low kick. I prefer my knee for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've been able to find the body with these knees. Would you prefer to go to the body than the head, or does it really not matter to you where these knees land?
Yeah, before just body. Before, because in Thailand we just train in the body. When he hit pads, and when we are training, we just hit in the body, and go to the fight just body. But I started going a little bit in the head now because of MMA. So that's why I'm changing a little bit.
Oh, I see. Now, you've been making a lot of momentum here because you've been fighting on the TV here in the United States. A lot more people know you now than they did, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because you've been fighting a Lion Fight, which is on Access TV, and also with Legacy that's on Access TV, and also a Bellator. They had the Spike.com shows and MTV.com, whatever shows that you fought on for them. You're gaining a lot more ground because you've been in front of a lot more people. Have you noticed it? Have you noticed that a lot more people know you now than maybe they did, a couple years ago? Because obviously you're known worldwide because you've been fighting all over the world, but in the United States, not a lot of people knew you a couple years ago. Have you noticed the increase in awareness about your fighting?
Yeah, that's true, because Muay Thai here is not really big,
right.
Like in the US. And I'm glad to help to make the sport grow here. And yes, for sure, it's really good for me. On TV, how it's doing, Spike TV and on Access TV, and fight for Lion Fight, and that's good. And I feel good, I don't feel nervous because everybody's watching, and for me that's fine. I don't want to get nervous about that.
Mm-hmm. Did it bother you maybe a couple years ago when you were living in the United States but not fighting in the States and kind of flying under the radar here? Obviously, like you said, Muay Thai isn't a big deal in the States yet, or Lion Fight's making some ground. Who knows? This thing could take off, but. Did it bother you, not having a lot of people aware of what you were doing?
Man, it's not about body, it's culture. People here prefer MMA, boxing. I know they some guys boxing is not like MMA anymore, but that's not true. I was in Vegas for some fights, and I see how big boxing is, and. Of course, I would like to see Muay Thai like that, mm-hmm. But I don't know if one day it'll be like this, Mm-hmm. We have just to be patient. In Brazil, the same thing. Brazil now is getting bigger. Many guys going to Thailand to train there, and some guys make some good shows in Brazil, but it's too hard, we have to be patient and see, and try to do the best and make the people knows Muay Thai. It's not just because he's on TV, we have to change. The problem here too is that. We fight Muay Thai, full rules Muay Thai, but the commission is a boxing commission.
Right.
So how can they score Muay Thai? So you have to change a little bit your game, Like me now, I'm training more boxing. Of course, I love to train boxing, and but I'm doing that because I know too there's a boxing commission, so I can't fight 100% Muay Thai. Just kicks, clean, shells. I fought in Vegas against Sak Mong Kong.
Right.
And man, I fought Muay Thai. I fought 100% Muay Thai. And then everybody saw who knows. I won the fight for sure, 100% sure, and they gave it to him. After fight, he came to me Cosmo, you won, that. I'm sorry about that. It's not his fault, He just fought like me, but so that's the problem. And then we have to think about that. It's not just because on TV we have to change, or I don't know how it would work here. in Brazil, we are like make some like Muay Thai commission too, because we can't like just like give them the boxing commission. They don't know how to score, so that's hard.
But for you personally, now that you're on a platform like Access TV, where a lot of American people can be exposed to you for the first time, a couple years ago you didn't have that. Was there ever a time where you're like, man, I wish I could share my talents with these people who, I'm around all the time. I live in the United States, but a lot of people have never been exposed to my fighting. Was there ever a time where you're like, man, I wish I could perform for these people to show them what I'm all about?
Yes, I think about that too. But it's hard, man. It's like you think some guys want to know, like how Muay Thai works. Like how is that? But many guys watch TV just like they want like crazy fight. They want like almost like a street fight. So that's hard to see that. Even like with the organizations, like we have to talk like, oh, Cosmo, you have to be more like aggressive, like So it's hard to do both. Or you choose like, oh, you fight 100% Muay Thai, and like maybe next show you not fight because some people like think you're boring fighting, or you just like forget a little bit of your game and like try to fight like like they want.
Now, Yotzen Clyde Fairtex, he's the Lion Fight middleweight champion right now. You fought him 2 times in the past. Is that a fight that you're still interested in? And is it a fight that would be sellable? Obviously, you fought him twice and have lost him twice, but there wasn't that many eyeballs on that fight or those fights in the past. Now there's a platform here on Access TV. Should you get a win here, that would make you 2-0 under the Lion Fight banner, and I can't think of anyone else out there that I'd be more interested to see than you fight against Fairtex. So is that a fight you still want, and is it possible? Is that one that you see them making?
I can't fight him, but he has to go up 160 pounds. And I heard he doesn't want to come like 160 pounds because when I fought him 160, in the second fight he lost. He knows that. And everybody knows about that. But he doesn't want to go 160. He wants to fight 155. I can go through, but we have to talk about that. You know what I mean? And I can fight like 155 or 160. But if it's good for me, okay, I fight 155 pounds. It's not like, it'd be like, okay, 160 is my weight,
Now, in that second fight, was that a tournament? Because those rounds were only 2 minutes. Was that a part of a tournament or something? Why was it 2 rounds?
Yeah,
2
the tournament.
minutes? Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't the final. We made 3 fights that night, and the final was like me against him. And that's like weird because in the third round, I was like winning the fight. In the third round, when finished the third round, the ref came to me and said, Cosmo, we are going to the round number 4. Okay, that's good. And then he went to his corner, Joe Sinclair's corner,
right,
and talked to him, and I saw and remember that. I saw they are talking, and then the ref came to the middle of the ring and finished the fight. I thought he would like, Joe get hurt or something like that. And I was like, oh, I won. That's good, man. Like, I was happy and blah, blah. But then, like, they start, like, saying, like, oh, no, we have to finish the fight before because the TV. And I was like, oh, man, come on. I know what's going on. And then they gave to him.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was, like, crazy. Because never in the King's Cup history, a fighter won twice in a row, 2 years in the row. So I would be the first because I won 2009, and then I would win like 2010, and then like they didn't let me like win. So, but that's fine. Today with the internet, we can watch everything, so you can see like who won, who lost. So that's good. That's okay.
Right. Are you a big fan of fighting multiple times in a night? Because it's really an art to, win 3 fights in a night. It's not always the best guy who wins the tournament. It's the guy who stays the freshest and can avoid damage. Are you a fan of the tournament formats and fighting multiple times?
Yeah, I like to fight tournaments like that. In November pool, I'll fight one, but it's just 2 fights in the night. Like the first and the final. I like to fight tournaments, like 2-3 fights in the night. I like that.
Now, Thailand, their national sport is Muay Thai. That's a very big deal over there. What's it like fighting over there in Thailand, and also what's it like fighting someone who's from there? You fought Yotsun Clyde in Thailand. What's it like going against one of their own?
Yeah, I love to train there, man, and I love to fight there because they breathe Muay Thai. It's like I can't explain. Like here, like we have like NBA, we have football, we have like baseball. There it's just Muay Thai, man. Like you can see the lady like 55 years old, like talking about Muay Thai. Go to your house, you watch Muay Thai, on TV.
Right.
So everything is about Muay Thai. That's what I love in Thailand, and I love train there, fight there. And I fought big names already there. Yotsun Clyde, I fought Norway Paul Fortex, I fought One Loop Stipolek, and just one guy I didn't fight yet was Buakal. But I try my hard, man, to fight this guy, but his manager doesn't want that fight. He said I'm too big for him, and even doing the weight, and they don't want to match this fight.
Oh, I see. Now, Cosmo, just a couple more questions before I let you go. I know you're a very busy man. You got this big fight coming up and training and all that, so I really appreciate you taking the time. Just a couple more questions. You recently did a seminar in Nicaragua. You were recently doing a seminar out there. How was that? How did that go? And how did that seminar come about?
Man, it was great, man, because I always find a good place to surf and make a seminar.
Right.
First of all, I go to surf.
Right.
Sure, I went there. I went to Costa Rica first, and then after that I came back there for three times already, just surf. And Nicaragua, I knew was a nice place to surf. And then I found these guys and oh man, I'm going to Nicaragua, and let's do a seminar. Oh, that's great. So I go surf, and they pay me to do that,
Right.
So it was great. And it's good to see they start now with the Muay Thai.
Right.
So it's oh man, how I can explain it? But it's nice to see the beginning, and then probably I will come back there and they'll be better than I saw last time. And I like to be together, to see the guys growing, getting better and fighting Muay Thai. I like that.
How many seminars do you do a year?
I don't know, man. Last time I went to Brazil in 3 weeks, I made 5 seminars.
Oh, 5 seminars in Brazil alone?
Yeah, just in 3 weeks. I always do I do a seminar every weekend, and I do class,
Right.
in the weeks. So it's different price, 2 hours the class and 3 hours the seminar, but seminars just a weekends. So I made 5 in 3 weeks. So it was good.
Do you bring anybody along with you, whether it's a family member? I don't know if you're married or not or have kids. Do you bring a family member? Do you bring a fellow fighter? Who comes with you on these trips when you do these seminars?
Oh, the seminars? No, I go by myself. If a good place and if I can stay there more 5-6 days, okay, maybe I can bring somebody. But normally it's just 2 days. Even in Brazil, it's fast, I go one day, seminar, and then come back. Just Costa Rica and Nicaragua was for 4 days, something like that. But my family was in Brazil and I was here, so I couldn't bring them with me.
I see. And how long are the actual seminars themselves? When you're actually teaching the people who come to them, how long do they actually get to work with you? And also, what do you cover in some of these seminars, or does it vary with the area that you're at?
The seminar between 2 hours and a half, 3 hours.
Okay.
And I try to mix what I learned in Holland, because I lived in Holland too, and I fought, like how I told you, like kickboxing, like East Showtime.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I teach what I learned in Thailand. So I try to mix everything like what I'm doing in MMA too, you know. And yeah, like sometimes they call me like 1 month before the date they want to do. And if I go to Brazil, and they just like call me and like, oh, you have to pay your ticket and what else? Or if I go to Brazil, no, you don't need to pay my ticket because I'll be there already. So when I know I'm going to Brazil for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I just post on my Facebook, and like people start like message me, and I want this date, and then like I do my schedule, and then I go and stay like for 3, 4 weeks doing seminars, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, what kind of students will you have at these seminars? Will it mostly be the average Joe, just the regular guy who wants to maybe learn self-defense or learn the sport of Muay Thai, or will it be fighters? You know, what kind of people are attending these?
Man, everybody, man, like fighters, guys just started like few weeks train, you know, like, man, every kind of like people like doing the seminar. Mm-hmm. Beginners, fighters, guys like good guys, like they train good, but they don't want to be a fighters.
Oh.
They want to be a good teachers.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I like to mix. I do this simple stuff, and I do something like I do in the fights. You know, like more like people like to fly knee, like spinning elbow, like. But I start always like with jab cross, and I can feel when I start the seminar how I can do, because I don't go with my schedule like, oh, I will do that. I don't do this. I have to go, and like when I start doing the warm up, the shadow box, I see like all the guys I can do, and then I start doing the combinations, the techniques, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, will you have children and women in these seminars, or will it be mostly just men?
No, yes, I have women, kids, I have everybody, man.
Oh, okay. And how long have you been doing these seminars?
My first seminar, I think, was in 2010, 2011, something like that. Was my first seminar was my seat in Brazil. So it was good.
Oh, okay. I see. Cosmo, last question before I let you go, and once again, thank you for taking the time. I know you're a very busy man, so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. But last question, for people who maybe haven't been exposed to you before, or will be exposed to you for the first time in Connecticut when you fight at Foxwoods on May 23rd, how would you describe your fighting style? Like, to someone who has never seen you fight before, what should they expect from you on the 23rd?
Man, I fight smart, you know, like have, I don't know, maybe 60, 65 fights, and like I just broke my nose. I broke my nose like one time, and I don't have anything in my face. But it's because I fight smart, you know. I don't like crazy fight. Of course, I fight with my brain and I fight with my heart, but I don't need to go crazy in any fight, you know. So people can expect like a technical fight, you know, a smart fight, and that's what I do, man. Like since I start.
Cosmo, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Yeah, man. I would like to thank 27 North, Top Blue Canyons, Sim Boxing, and Muay Thai Additive. Now I just signed with them, and I would like to thank all these guys. They support me and sponsor me. Thanks very much.
Cosmo, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck May 23rd at Lion Fight 15 against Mark Holst.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your call. Thank you very much.